Happy Friday, seniors. I am sorry that I'm doing this asynchronous recording for our last class, but I've been having some problems at home with the internet. It's been cutting in and out on classes lately, and it's been very irritating. So I did decide I'd come in, and I'm not sure, again, if it would be even a decent recording on Blackboard Ultra if I did it at home. So I'm here. Here's my final thoughts for Theater 4130, Acting Professionally. If you remember back to that first recording I did for you guys, and was talking about the course and generally and its intents and objectives, and the fact that I always feel that I'm not very good at teaching it. This year, aside from our guest artists and your guys' devotion to the research projects and the audition packages and our various exercises that we've done, as well as you just being an excellent group, supportive of each other, and I think eager to share information as well as to go out on the limb a little bit. And you're very vulnerable, disarming in Cohen tactics when you start talking about what you hope to do with your life. This final week is about personal considerations. And so I want to end with these thoughts. If anything, what I've tried to do is make you a little bit more self-reliant and just realize you do have to educate yourself and continue to educate yourself about this business. You've done great for 4 years and you've got 1 semester left. Make sure that you finish your degree. I'll come back to that. But you've done a great job in 4 years getting your training and opening yourself up to new approaches, new ideas, hopefully refining a lot of your own personal talents, skills, innate abilities, and aesthetic choices. If we have robbed you of your sense of who you are as an artist and what you want to say, or damaged your confidence in doing that, and made you think of an academic right way to do things, we've done you a terrible disservice. And you paid for that type of education and training. It's certainly not our intent, I know, in the program. And I do credit this program very much through all of its permutations. I began in 1975 as a student and finished finally in 1981 or 82. I forget, when I finally finished my degree. But I've seen it progress since that time and become more manned, womaned by a faculty that I think cares about individuals and more deeply, and is not so academically oriented that we're teaching things that are impractical and or outdated. Now, if you disagree with me, that's fine. The thing I hope you've done is take what we've offered and sift through it, see how it works with you and reacts. Some of you, again, are thinking of departing from definitely stage acting, which is what this program's been about, and taking your training and going into something else, music, modeling. Voiceover work seems to be, again, more related to me, but it's not stage. There's a lot of things that I've been able to at least feel confident about trying to share with you and teach you because I am a regional stage actor. That was my choice early on. Even while I was in school, I guess I got the idea that I wasn't cut out for big cities. I didn't want that type of competition. There were too many things in terms of my personal considerations that I knew myself well enough that I thought a smaller career in live theater and in some city where I really wanted to live, that was the way to go. It's not that I didn't have some shadowy romantic dreams or notions of, well, what if I did get into a movie? And what if I did get into a TV series? But consistently, all of my choices have been a matter of the path of least resistance, going towards a more private, family surrounded, small town type of lifestyle and career. Teaching has been my way of financing my acting. Please finish your degree. You owe it to yourselves, you owe it to your parents. You do not know what that degree might do in terms of opening up a door for you that now maybe you're thinking, I'm not interested in doing anything other than performing arts, etc. And yes, I doubt that very few movie stars have got these PhDs or masters in acting. It's possible. I think the main thing is they went out and they did it, and they did it because they loved it. But I wouldn't be sitting where I am now in my office at Wright State University and having over 32 years of a good income and health benefits, and then what that enables me to do in terms of having a home, a family, 3 sons with a pre-existing health condition, every one of them, my wife, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In Yellow Springs, which is might be a hippie town, a little run down, but it's a little pricey to live there. Finish your degree. Please do that. Anything that I can do to help you to that end, get through next semester, I'm more than happy to do. That's part of, I think, my responsibility as a faculty member, but also from this class. The business class is about being objective and trying to think what's best for your ultimate future. And I will say, as someone who was going to walk away from the degree and not get it and didn't think it was worth anything, blah, 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 blah. Now I'm so happy. I had 2 or 3 faculty members that sat me down and said, great, we know you're having problems. We know you don't like biology, you blah, 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 blah. But you will not regret getting this degree. And I haven't. The other thing is, yeah, I was lucky enough to link up with my wife, the beautiful and the talented Carol Allen, during the last 2 senior years that I was finishing up my degree, while I was also working professionally during the summers. But for that alone, I'm going, thank you, Wright State. So, personal considerations. Do think for combat, and Amanda, I wish you could join us in combat, but you with dance classes and other things, you're going to be going your own route, I think, in terms of physical conditions. But what I will tell everyone applies to anyone who's going to go into the performing arts and also wants to keep a healthy physical regimen. I really do believe in jogging, any type of CV where you can use it as sort of a moving meditation. It always helps me, not only physically, gets my blood going and keeps me limber, definitely works on my heart and lung capacity, breath capacity, et cetera, et cetera. Jogging has always been something that's helped me tremendously, even since junior high. Conditioning in terms of weight, which means I'm lifting weights and I'm toning. That I think is helpful for you in the marketplace. Regardless of what your body type is, you can still get a little bit leaner, a little bit more muscular. It's not just for men, ladies, as you know. I have a set of weights. I've got a long barbell and I've got some dumbbells. I do curls, I do overhead presses, I lie on my back. I don't have a bench, so I lie on the carpet and do bench presses. I like to do multiple reps of a fairly low weight because I never wanted bulk. I just wanted a little bit of tone, and it makes you feel better about yourself. I also do push-ups and sit-ups because it's cheap. I don't have to go to a gym. I can watch movies while I'm doing it, watch some inspiring Marvel Cinematic Universe films. But I also try to keep track of them in a daily appointment book. Now, this is when I'm being good and thinking about it. But I'll say at age 63 and putting on some pandemic pounds and being a little bit of a finding a beer belly before that, which really threw me because I had not had that problem in the past. My metabolism is changing. I don't know. I'm definitely, because I'm not acting now. I'm not in a rehearsal room and doing my usual stretch routine. I'm not in performances and making sure I eat well. And I am at home though now. So finally it's dawning on me as I'm getting ready for combat. Now's the time to get back to a 4 times a week uh, weight routine and then jogging on the other days. So every day I'm getting some exercise. But that's why having December off, not doing Scrooge, I'm thinking, man, I should be looking and feeling really good by the time we get to the second week of January or whenever our spring semester starts. That should be a personal consideration for you. Some type of physical regimen that you enjoy, but you get away from it for a while and you forget how much it helps you, how good it makes you feel. So think about that. And some of you don't have weights, at home. So I say, good, do push-ups, do sit-ups, that alone, and doing reps of them throughout the day. I'm going to take 10 minutes. I'm going to do 30 push-ups, 30 sit-ups, and then you slowly keep building. But don't do too much all at once. And, write it down. Write it down. That'll help motivate you. But combat, when we get to it, it's going to probably be a little bit more about conditioning, but on your own than ever before. A lot of it will be, I'm afraid, online, and me doing some drills with you and you having a big enough space at home or in your apartment, wherever you are, that you can do them with me. I do really hope we can do some in-person stuff by just narrowing the class down and making the 10 of you, it's like 4 one day and 6 the next. So you can work in pairs, but starting originally, maybe as few as having 3 people in the room. I don't know, 3, and 4. Trying it that way. Anyway, between now and then, do yourself a business favor, get in better shape. And it's cold, yes. If you're going to be in Ohio like me, one of the masks finally helps you in terms of not only keeping you from infecting people, but keeping your face warm. Okay. Last part. This is going to be a short tape. It's not going to be an hour. Personally, if you have not only 4 years of training and a degree to show for it, you are able to share this, like me, and teach. By just doing the research presentations, you're playing a little bit with being a teaching artist. And believe you me, I in no way intended to be a teacher. I love sharing, craft especially. But when it comes to facts and information, I cannot keep these type of things in my head. So in many ways, I think I've been acting like a professor for the last 35 years. But no, you can teach. And teaching is a great way to keep yourself involved in the art form as well as to help young artists. And that has been one of the most um, fulfilling things to do with my life that I ever could have done. That and acting. I am wired to be an actor for whatever weird reasons. I'm shy, I'm introverted, um, I have so many self doubts and insecurities. I love people, I love human behavior. I love trying to figure out what makes us tick psychologically, but it's mainly the expression of it. And I love words and literature. That's why I'm drawn to the classics so much, is because Shakespeare, Moliere, there are so many great writers that have lasted for centuries because, sorry, I'm getting a phone call that I'm going to ignore, because they use this incredible language, so powerful, that pulls us into stories that have lasted. And I think a lot of it's because of these words that you get to, as an actor, rent. I so appreciate those of you who want to be writers. Own the words. Don't just rent the words. Own the words. Write those lyrics. Write musicals. Write plays. Write novels. Write monologues for yourself. You know, one person shows. Um, but the other thing about acting is it is personal. It makes me a better human being, I hope. It makes me see the good and bad that are possible in humanity as well as in myself. And I think it keeps me humble. I think you realize, even if you get the chance to play leading roles and things like that, you still are a member of a company. It is a job. You've got to fulfill your obligations to people. So I've never understood the diva temperament. And whenever I find myself getting fragile and needing special attention, it really bothers me. Occasionally I'll get sick if I'm doing Scrooge, and then I just feel like a big baby. And it's like, get over yourself. Just get out on stage and do what you can. But that's the other thing for me. Live theater gives me the chance to be in front of the audience and find escape from my insecurities and shyness just by getting into, in a sense, a group effort where we're all working our best to suspend our disbelief and get into the story that's being told. And my extensive movie career it did sort of teach me what I already knew. Nobody's paying attention. They're all caught up in the lighting and stuff. And so there wasn't that feedback that you get in live theater. And for me, at least, being a smaller player in Dark Waters, there were opportunities when honestly I'd be sitting down and there'd be Ruffalo and Tim Robbins and Victor Garber, and we were at a men's club, and the elite non-supernumeraries, we were given a room where we could hang out, and there was great discussion, a lot about politics and things. Some health issues that came up, and I felt guilty, but I was very happy to be a fly on the wall, and I didn't contribute. I mainly just listened. But it's not the same thing as being in a theater company and working very hard for 4 weeks on getting a show up, and then also being someplace away from home, and you're around the company, and at night you can go out for drinks, socializing, whatever. I'm just wired that mainly I try to find about other people's lives or their careers, and I really enjoy when we're talking about theater stories, anecdotes, and or how do we make this scene better? It's not very good. How do we make it better? Yeah. So for me, it's been the right choice in life. If you find yourself getting really unhappy with it, All right, you just leave it. You'll know when, and you'll leave it. The path of least resistance will take you to someplace, something else that hopefully has a little bit more financial security, job security, better ongoing health benefits, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But what COVID has taught all of us is um, you have to be strong, self-reliant, emotionally stable. You often, in the artistic life, I believe, really have to look long and hard at yourself and say, what have I got to offer the world? And if I'm not doing it, how can I? What opportunities can I find for myself or make for myself? I liked using Jenna Fisher's book. First time that I used it. I think, yes, it's a little bit specifically towards film and TV, but she has a great spirit and she's sharing information with you in a text form that you can reread. So unlike my babblings in class, you can walk away with it. Okay, which takes us to I've so appreciated being a part of the class, being able to offer you things this semester and the semesters that we've had together in the past in sophomore movement in acting classes. I look forward to having um, uh, you in the combat. Amanda, you're going to be my TA for the MT classical acting class. So we do continue. This relationship does continue, and realize too, once you get out, even more so, then we're more matters of peers out there, regardless of what you wind up doing with your life. All right. So keep the connection. I'm not going to get all weepy, which is great because with both the sophomore classes, I got all drippy. I will say I love you. I know this has been a tough time for all of us. I think we're all doing very well. And if you're having a bad day, call somebody. Vid chat me over the holidays. I'm not acting for the first time in 23 years over December. So I don't think I'm going to get depressed about it, honestly. It's a nice change of pace for me. But email, vid chat, all right, don't hesitate to reach out. Okay, love you all. That's it.